Welcome everybody back to Jedi Eternal episode 29. I'm here, your co-host Braxton Taylor, here with Andrew the Diet, or the I just messed it up. The Dr. Diet himself, Bolin. He's sticking to his diet quest.
That's right.
I mean, it's every other week. Usually has something else, but it's fine.
Hey, you know what? I got a lot of Zero drinks in my fridge right now.
You
got Big Red Zero.
Oh.
You got Mountain Dew Zero.
Oh.
You got Coke Zero. You got Vanilla Coke Zero. Yes, that's right, folks. I have all four of those currently in my fridge.
The four horses of the apocalypse. I don't know. I didn't know that they even made diet vanilla Coke.
Let's talk about what you're drinking. You're drinking a Coca-Cola Energy.
Yeah, it's I got it for free. I can't say that I really like it, but
you were influenced by my unicorn drink from last week.
Disgusting unicorn.
And so you decided to show up with a big energy.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting drink for sure. Yeah, anyway, so let's move on from our Coke drinking here, and let's get into some Star Wars. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into our news for the day. And so the very first thing we have for you all is The Mandalorian gets a massive 8-disc vinyl soundtrack and new artwork. So in a report from the Rolling Stones, it was revealed by Goranson, which was the composer, revealed by Goranson's soundtrack from the first season of The Mandalorian will be released as a massive, quote, massive and limited 8 LP vinyl box set via Mondo. This will mark the first physical release of the Season 1 soundtrack. So they say it's going to be limited to 3,500 copies. So it has some new artwork on it and stuff like that. So I'm taking a look at it here, and it looks pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty sweet. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, it looks really cool. Each vinyl has its like individual casing, but then like you also get like the massive box that it comes in, which has the mud horn on the front, that like signet or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this would be something really cool to have to like put in a room if you've got stuff dedicated to Star Wars, and even more so if you have a record player, which unfortunately I do not.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Well,
yes.
I'm honestly thinking about trying to get one of these and get a record player for my room that I'm working on right now. So, but yeah, it looks really, really cool. And plus, I just love the soundtrack from The Mandalorian. So. Yeah.
It would sound very good on vinyl. I think it would sound very good on vinyl.
I think so too.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like I said, it's only going to have 3,500 copies, so this is pretty limited. So
yeah, and I don't see a price anywhere.
I don't either.
I don't know that that's been revealed just yet.
I'd imagine it's probably not super cheap. If I had to guess,
I'm gonna guess at least $300.
Really? I was gonna say like $250. But
well, that'd be great.
But even then, $250. That's still don't know if I'd buy it for $250.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's that'll be a lot of money
with only 3,500 copies of it. I feel like if you were to get one, maybe someday in the future, it might be worth some money.
But you know me though, if I bought this, I'd have to be taking everything out. I'd be playing every single vinyl.
It'd be very used.
It would be used. It would definitely be used. I'm getting my $300 worth.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you guys want to try to pick that up, you can. I don't see when it's dropping.
No, I don't see any of that. So that may not have been revealed just yet. They may have only just kind of announced that they're doing it.
Yeah.
We'll keep you guys updated on that. As soon as we hear more, we will let you guys know. But yeah, I think that's going to be really, really cool. But let's jump into our next news story. Our next news story, if you guys didn't know, Gamescom opening night went down yesterday. Well, sorry, I always forget. So yesterday being, when I say yesterday, I mean Thursday.
Yeah.
And we learned a couple of different things. So first and foremost, what we're going to talk about is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. So let's get the bad news out of the way first. The bad news is the game is now releasing in 2021. It has officially been delayed. As some of you may know, it was expected to come this fall.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to that.
Yeah. That was going to be one of the first games that we tried to stream, in fact.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so we were really anticipating that release. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. It will be in 2021. And they're saying spring 2021.
Yeah, there was some back and forth on this. In fact, they had just 2021 on their site. I can't remember which one it was, if it was their official site or whatever. And then they actually took that off 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then put coming soon. So we kind of thought, oh, this is kind of for the worst. It may not even come in 2021. But then they had Gamescom. And then they came in and said, not only is it 2021,
and showed a new trailer.
So
for those of you that have not seen it, there is a new trailer out there. Maybe we can post that on our Facebook page.
I'll do that.
So for you guys to find it easier. But I love the trailer. The trailer is great. It has that classic Lego Star Wars feel. But of course updated visuals, and it's
got kind of serious. It's like silly but serious at the same time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so let's just talk about some of the things we see in it. So one of the first things that I saw that I loved is Yaddle. Yaddle is in it.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Awesome. I thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah,
and we see like a couple different iconic scenes, such as the first time Luke Skywalker turns around. However, in the Lego version, it's Porgs in the Jedi robe.
Naturally.
It turns around, Luke Skywalker's not even there.
So stupid. It's so dumb. That's the beauty of Lego games, though.
Yeah,
it's just
right,
so
right.
dumb.
So dumb.
But it's so good.
We also... there was one, it showed it really quickly with like Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, and from the Phantom Menace, which looked really cool. We also saw... I'm trying to think. I think it showed very quickly a scene of Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So that's cool too. I can't wait to see how they do that scene.
Well, and what's cool, and this is on topic but off topic at the same time. We've talked about this before. But what's cool is that we have episodes 1 through 6 in previous games, but they're actually reworking everything. There's no reused stuff in this game.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing I was kind of concerned about. I'm like, really? Am I just going to buy $60 game, or it may not be that, I don't know, right? Am I going to buy a $60 game for 6 episodes, so to speak, of the 9 that I've already played? Right. No, that's not going to be the deal. It's actually going to be all new, and it looks really good.
It looks really good, and I'm excited to see how they redo some of the prequels and things that we've technically already experienced in Lego format, but like they're gonna redo it, and I'm sure it's gonna be even better. I have full faith in Travelers. What is the developer's name?
Yeah,
I just lost it. I think it's something like Traveler's Tale. Or
I think it is like
Traveler's
like Tales or. That's actually,
is that right? I don't know.
It sounds right in my head, but
I almost called them Telltale, but it's not Telltale.
That's a little bit
that's something different. Yeah. Anyways, whatever their name is, I do have full faith in them. They always make great games.
It's Traveler's
Tales. Yeah. And I think this one is going to be like the culmination of all of their efforts so far. Oh
yeah, easily.
And another thing to note is this is a new engine. I think this is the first time they're using this game engine, so we're going to see updates in that as well. And so, with that all being said, there's also going to be a deluxe offering of the game, a deluxe edition. So let's just talk about what that comes with that. So the deluxe edition cover, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's just like Darth Vader, which looks great. But what's cool is it comes with a sleeve or like a slip cover. And so when you slip the cover off of the case, the helmet comes off and it shows, of course, Anakin Skywalker's face underneath the mask. And so that's just kind of a neat little touch there.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Yeah.
And with that, so if you buy this deluxe edition, it comes with an exclusive Luke Skywalker with blue milk minifigure. So you get like a little character. I assume they're saying like an actual physical little Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. I'm going to assume that's what that means. And then it also comes with 6 character collection bundle packs. And so basically what these are all characters from non-saga projects. So you get a Rogue One pack, a Solo pack, the Mandalorian pack, and also interesting to note, the Bad Batch pack.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that's all information we have right now. Again, if you haven't yet, I highly encourage you guys to go check out the trailer. It's fun.
I went ahead. I just posted it on our Facebook
okay,
page.
Sweet. So check it out on our Facebook page. Towards the very end, there's also a really great scene between Palpatine and Luke. It's really good. It's so dumb, but it's so funny. So I highly encourage you guys to go and check that out. I think it's going to be really fun when it eventually does come out. And keep in mind, we are going to play through that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be streaming that for you guys. We want you guys to be in on that experience with us.
Absolutely.
For our first time. So be looking forward to that when it eventually does come.
Yeah, spring 2021, like I said, projected. And probably what we'll end up doing is probably have live gameplays, but then we'll take those lives and post them on YouTube as well.
We'll post,
so if you're not able to watch it or whatever. Anyway, so it'll be really fun. I'm really excited about that. So let's go ahead on. As Drew had mentioned, Gamescom has occurred as of yesterday. And some more Star Wars stuff has come to the surface here. And EA has revealed new Star Wars Squadrons single-player gameplay. So that was, first of all, that was pretty neat. I was going to say, I have this article here. At this year's Gamescom event, EA Games has revealed footage of the single-player campaign for the upcoming Star Wars Squadrons. Set shortly after the destruction of the second Death Star, the single-player campaign will see players fly as two pilots in opposite sides of the war between the New Republic and the remnants of the Empire. Like the game's other modes, the campaign will support VR. And I'm not going to read the whole thing here. But it's pretty cool. So go check that gameplay out. But not only did the gameplay air, but also in Gamescom they had kind of like game, different categories for winners and stuff. And Star Wars Squadrons actually won the best action game. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. Me and Drew was talking about this beforehand. We're like, I'm not really sure what this is being based off of. It's not even out yet. So
yeah, it's interesting because they never really talked about where these, like, who was voting for this stuff,
right,
or anything like that.
Right.
They were just like giving out random awards, and I have no idea what the purpose of them were. But
it's like, I mean, I don't know who voted for them. I don't know what the criteria is against. Like, I
guess it's just for what they think's cool.
It's like, hey, I mean, because let's take it. We'll take it when we can get it.
Yeah. But this continues to look great.
Yeah, I agree.
It looks fantastic. What was notable about this trailer specifically is that we get narration by Princess Leia herself. And so that is kind of cool. We also get some more Hera Syndulla in this more live action appearance. Like, it's a much more realistic portrayal of her. And so that's cool to see. To continue to see more of that.
Yeah.
And we get Ray Sloan, which is from the Aftermath trilogy. So a lot of cool connections that are going to be in this. Again, I think this is going to be a pretty small campaign. I don't expect this to be very long.
I imagine so.
But I think it's going to be a nice little treat for Star Wars fans that are just waiting for something.
Anything at this point.
And again, we plan to stream this game when it comes out.
Whenever that may be.
Well, I think we have a release date for that.
Actually,
it's in October. I know that for
October
a fact.
2nd.
October 2nd. So we need to get on that.
Yeah, we need to hurry up on this. Yeah.
We have some things to buy.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing. We're going to try to, and this is, guys, somewhat off topic. We're going to tell you guys this anyway. But when we set up our game streaming setup and stuff like that, it's going to we're going to try to make it as official and cool and high quality as possible.
We're going to try. But
we're going to try.
No promises.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, a lot of time, or a lot of research. So at first, it may not be the best, but
we'll upgrade as we go.
Oh, yeah. But by the time Star Wars Lego comes out, I hope to imagine that we're going to be pretty good. So.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have ironed out all the kinks by that point.
Right,
right.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we're expecting to have a good time with that. So be on the lookout for that in October.
Yeah.
And maybe some of you guys can even join in with us and have some fun with some of our listeners.
This is off topic again, but whenever we do this, I would like to have like maybe nights where we open it up and say, hey, we're going to be on from X time to X time.
Yeah,
and
get a squad going.
On. Yeah, that'd be
cool.
Pretty sick.
Have our own squadron.
Yeah, boy.
All right.
The Jedi Eternal Squadron.
Yeah, you know it. If they have like clan names or something, that's what we'll name it.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's go into our final news story of the day, and this is again to kind of go along with Gamescom, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, during the conference, I was watching it live, and they had just shown the Squadrons gameplay, and they said, and we have one more thing, and I flipped out because I thought. This coming from EA, right? They have one more Star Wars thing to show. I was like, This is it.
Jedi.
It's like
Fallen Order 2.
Well, no. I was thinking like Knights of the Old Republic remake or something, right?
Yeah.
Like I was all in. I was just ready, and all of a sudden, The Sims 4 is getting a Star Wars DLC. I was like, oh,
wait, what? The Sims 4?
Yeah.
Like, people still play that?
It was unexpected, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not quite what was expected.
Yeah, so The Sims 4 will soon receive a new story-driven game pack titled Star Wars Journey to Batuu. Inspired by the attractions of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland and Disney World, it introduces a Star Wars-themed destination within The Sims 4, allowing your Sims to travel to the Black Spire outpost on the remote planet. Players will find familiar characters from the Star Wars universe, including Kylo Ren and Rey Skywalker, and can play Sabacc against Hondo. And you can even find the Millennium Falcon.
The Millennium Falcon.
I'm not a Sims player.
Either.
But I assume if you are a Sims player and you love Star Wars, this is very good news.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not dissing it because anything
no.
Star Wars is great, but it was just very funny that when this big reveal from EA.
Yeah, I have to say I was a little disappointed on my end, but
hey, if you play this is great.
Yeah, no,
so I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for you if you play Sims and you're getting Star Wars content there. Good for you.
Yeah,
my heart still hurts. I'm in deep despair. I just want more Knights of the Old Republic. Come on, somebody, just give it to me.
Right.
What do I have to do?
Anything.
What do I have to do?
Do I have to get on my knees?
What do I have to do to get an RPG Star Wars? It doesn't even have to be Knights of the Old Republic.
Exactly.
Just give me a fleshed out RPG, maybe open world if they do it right. It doesn't have to be open world though, but open world if they do it right, and give me a good Star Wars game.
Yeah, I agree. We need it. We need it. EA or whoever ends up making. I don't care who makes it. We just need it. So anyway, like I said, to wrap up our news, there's some pretty cool stuff being announced and whatnot. A lot of cool stuff coming out of Gamescom. If you're a Sims player, you got some good news headed your way. Also, like I said, Star Wars Squadrons, we've seen some stuff on that, and it looks really good. And a confirmation of October 2nd. So, like I said, a lot of stuff coming, so it's gonna be cool. So let's go ahead and get on to our rumors. So our first rumor for today is that is about Mandalorian Season 2. And there has been a lot of rumors circulating the second season that Ahsoka was going to be in this season, and we couldn't prove that obviously, but things had been alluded and things have been thrown around. We're like, oh man, this looks somewhat probable. And then not only was Ahsoka going to be in this season, but also that Rosario Dawson was going to play Ahsoka. So we haven't heard anything about that for quite some time now, but actually as of, let me see here, when was this posted? As of, to yesterday, which is for us, that's Thursday. As of Thursday of this previous week, there was an article posted talking about how Rosario Dawson had reportedly shot some Ahsoka Tano footage for marketing purposes for The Mandalorian Season 2. The article specifically says, where's it at? Well, anyway, according to the Kessel Run transmissions, Rosario Dawson has reportedly shot footage as Ahsoka for The Mandalorian around 2 weeks ago. Though the outlet isn't certain, the sequence was said to be filmed for marketing purposes, which is the reason for the delay of the rumored trailer. So that's kind of like a secondary part to this. Last week we was expecting to get the trailer and we didn't.
Right.
And I think to generate enough pizzazz, I guess, around this series, which really doesn't need it, but I'm sure if there's going to drop something as big as Ahsoka, they'd want to make sure that it's in there. And I can imagine with everything that's going on, it's possible that there probably were some delays, because of she couldn't get to the site on time, or due to precautions and blah blah blah, right? So this is interesting. It kind of makes sense, right? I don't know that that's obviously the case. This is rumor, but what are your thoughts, Drew?
Well, a couple things to note here. First of all, this is coming from Kessel Runs Transmissions, who have had some good reporting, but have been a little hit or miss lately. No offense to them, but they're claiming that the trailer, because they were the ones that told us the trailer was coming out for sure last weekend, right? And they had no doubts at the time, which of course it didn't happen. And now they're kind of saying the reason it didn't happen is because of this. And I don't know, but what I will say is, let's say this is true, and they had Rosario Dawson come back and do some specific just for marketing scenes here. My question is, why exactly? My assumption would be that maybe her scenes are too revealing as far as for the story, her actual scenes in the show.
Right.
And so they had to bring her back in to do something specifically just so they could show her in a trailer.
Just show her face or, clip. Yeah.
And actually, that article goes on a little farther to tell us that the scene in question features Ahsoka in a gray cloak fighting 2 bounty hunter assassins. And the location hosting the battle is said to be in a familiar Star Wars location, which was implied to be a cantina.
Interesting.
So if that is the case, I'm going to assume, again, like it's just apparently her scenes maybe just show too much. And so to keep the story under wraps, they had her come in to do specifically for a trailer so they can throw her in there and be the big reveal, and get everyone excited. But for me, the weird thing about all of this is, where is this trailer? Why have we not gotten a trailer yet?
Or why haven't we even heard from Star Wars, hey, this is coming out, but we're just a little bit behind? Because I feel like that's something, there's so much buzz going on about the trailer, and people are like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't we having this? I feel like, Star Wars typically doesn't put out there oh, hey, sorry for the delays, but I feel like it would be, if they ever were going to do it, it would be the time for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well,
so it is surprising we're not hearing that.
Yeah, and we've been told over and over again it's on track to be released on time. No worries there. It's coming in October is what they keep telling us. And, even Kathleen Kennedy said in an interview that they finished 5 days before the pandemic hit and everything shut down. So they were very close to not getting all their filming done, but they did. And so, and since a lot of the work is digital and things, they have said repeatedly, we're going to have it finished. We have no problems there.
Yeah.
So why aren't we seeing anything?
Yeah.
And what's the holdup here?
So I mean, I could see, with this report, I could see it being true, right? Okay, we really need, someone had made the decision up top, kind of close to the trailer reveal, hey, we need to have Ahsoka in this. I think we need to have her because it's going to be good for marketing. And they're we're going through our records, like you said. I mean, everything we have for her, we couldn't even really show a 5-second clip because it's going to show all this kind of stuff. And okay, let's see if we can get Rosario in here, and we just need to delay it so we can get this trailer to where it needs to be.
Yeah,
I can see that being the case.
And you have to think, we are at most 2 months away,
right? If we're supposed to
if it's going to come out in October,
yeah.
And also you have to think, someone like you and me, we've known about Mandalorian season 2 since we started this.
Oh yeah,
back in January.
Yeah,
and basically the Mandalorian had just finished. We already knew a season 2 was coming, right? We'd already gotten a picture of a Gamorrean.
Yeah, for sure.
From Filoni.
Well, it's
or Favreau, one of the two. I think it's Favreau.
I think it's because he drew it.
I don't remember.
Anyway, but the point is, most people don't follow either one of those guys and wouldn't see a picture of Gamorrean thinking, "Oh, this is
exactly." So the general audience probably has no idea that the season 2 is on its way because there's not. I mean, when you think about actual promotion from Star Wars, there's not really any promotion for it for this next season, and so. Actually, someone I know just the other day sent me a picture of a release date for The Mandalorian, and it was this fan art. Of course, I immediately knew it was fake, but they were like, "Oh, look, check it out! It's coming here!" And then they're like, "I'm so excited! It's getting a season 2."
So and she had no clue. He or she had no clue.
And I'm in my head, of course, I wasn't "Oh, you should have known." But in my head, I'm thinking I've known about this for a long time. That's fake. That's not the right date or official art.
Right.
But yes, we are getting a season 2. But to them, it was the first time they've ever even heard of anything.
Yeah.
And so you have to remember, though, there's a lot of people out here that don't know about Mandalorian season 2. Of course, like our listeners know because they're big Star Wars fans like we are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be listening to a Star Wars podcast.
Right, exactly.
And so people like that know, of course. But the general audience, who is going to be the most people watching this show, probably have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, clearly from your interaction, with that person, it shows that most people who aren't just like crazy in depth into the the lore and the news and everything, yeah, I mean, you may not know. So it would only make sense that this would actually really have been dropped in like July.
Yeah, because if you drop this a month before, I don't know. I think the talk isn't going to be able to spread as fast as if people if they had shown us a trailer even this month, they have a lot of time to build up to the release. And at this point, like the closer we get to October, the less time they're going to have to be able to spread the word and really throw out a lot of promotion for it. And, maybe they're thinking they don't need a ton of promotion because they didn't do a ton of promotion with the first season, and it turned out pretty well for them. And I'll give them that. But
you don't want to like base your luck off of your previous victories.
I just want to see it. I just want to see something from it because I am still slightly concerned about this not releasing when they're going to say it is being released, and that's just because that's the way everything has been lately. Everything that's supposedly getting released has been delayed. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah,
but but yeah, it's just it's concerning. Yeah, and I just want to see something soon.
Yeah, I mean we've got several solid confirmations that this season's coming in October, but yeah, it is just odd. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we not seeing more of this? Why are we not hearing anything? So, I mean, like, and that's why I said earlier, if we were getting it and the trailer really was delayed due to like, oh, there's just scheduling conflicts or precautions need to be taken for, Dawson's safety or whatever, okay, well, why didn't you be like, why didn't you say that? Why didn't you be like, hey, we're planning on dropping a trailer soon? And you could literally just say that. It's like, hey, keep your eyes and ears open for this trailer. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the other thing to note is this is the week of celebration.
Yeah, exactly.
This is when it would have happened.
Yeah, I mean, if any, it would have happened here for sure. Yeah,
and we would have seen The Mandalorian, right? I mean, we would have seen. I think we would have even seen something from Kenobi. It wouldn't have been like an actual trailer because they haven't started, but we would have seen, maybe like we would have gotten an idea of what it's about probably.
Yeah. Pre-recording draw or like pre-concept drawings and things of that nature. Yeah, for sure.
And honestly, I think we would have heard about what the next Star Wars movie is.
Really? So you think, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I think we may have gotten like a little bit of a drop, but with it being pushed back to 2023, I don't know.
I think we would have gotten an idea of where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we would have got a title or even like any kind of synopsis, but I think we would have gotten like we're headed to the Old Republic, something like that.
Yeah.
Because we're talking celebration, and they would have to have something huge to drop on us.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But since we're not having that, and it doesn't appear they're having any replacement, but some of this stuff's got to be like ready to be announced.
Yeah, I mean, they're unless the deadline for them to turn something in occurred before or after or whatever, I don't know, the pandemic or whatever, and they're like, oh well, okay, since we have this pandemic, I guess we don't really need to meet this deadline now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that could have been it, but yeah, you would think that like there would have been something prepared and ready for just in case the state opened up stuff so they could have the convention or whatever. So I don't know. It's hard to say. At this point, like I said, I'm everyone's kind of like on pins and needles, like, man, we got to hear something soon, to really secure. I mean, I know they said that the season 2 is coming out in October, but until we see that trailer, that's going to be really the the nail in the coffin, so to speak. So,
yeah. But moving on to our next story, our next rumor. This is nothing new necessarily at first. It's another rumor considering the Kenobi series with Hayden Christensen. Again, we're hearing that Anakin will be in this with flashbacks. of the Clone Wars. We're going to see him in Clone Wars armor, they're saying, and
that'd be sick.
and then this is also saying we will see Darth Vader as well. And this is new though, and that we're also going to see Commander Cody.
Yes. Yeah, I did hear about that as well. Yeah.
I am all for this.
Yeah. I know we've kind of talked about this in previous episodes.
We talk about it a lot, and trust me, folks, we're going to continue to talk about it.
Right.
Of course, that we would love to see Anakin back in Kenobi together during Clone Wars live action. Seeing that would be a dream come true.
So amazing.
It would be so amazing. So I would love to see that. But Commander Cody being in it as well is an interesting thing. And I don't know if the way that the rumor talks about it, it seems to be implied that maybe Commander Cody, he might be in the flashbacks, but he may also actually be like a part of the story.
Yeah, I'd like to see how he plays into that. That'd be really interesting what role he plays, Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see, like, is he still trying to hunt down Kenobi, or
has he kind of quote unquote sobered up and realized what he's done?
Yeah, and honestly, we might kind of get an idea of where that's going to go in the Bad Batch, because we've also heard Commander Cody is going to be in the Bad Batch,
right?
And if he is, we might see kind of where his head's at,
right? Exactly,
and then might be able to kind of judge where his character will go in Kenobi if he's actually in it,
right? Exactly. So that would be a pretty interesting indicator for sure. So we have such a unresolved tension, so to speak, between him and like his quote unquote best friend, Jedi friend Kenobi. Like what happened there? Why did that?
He tried to kill him.
Yeah. So. Well, and we saw that. And then a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just justified because he was made to do that." But I don't know. We saw in Clone Wars season 7 that Rex fought it pretty hard, and Cody was just like, "Shoot him down."
Yeah. We also got confirmation again that this is a limited series, which is not the first time that we have been told that, but it's kind of just more confirmation that this is not going to be a recurring series. This is going to be a one-time series, probably no longer than 6 episodes, but there has been rumors it'll be 4, or maybe, but I'm hoping maybe it'll be 8. I don't know. Who knows for sure? I don't even know that they know, because again, there's been a lot of talk about changing the story and changing different things. So I'm not even sure that they know for sure how many episodes this will be yet. But I would say anywhere from 4 to 12.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be probably somewhere in that.
But yeah, I mean, it does make sense that it's like a kind of like one-shot short series, because with Clone Wars, like, there's a billion stories you could tell within that. But with Bad Batch, it's like it's about one group.
I'd be super happy with 6.
Yeah,
because as long as each episode is an hour long, that's a 6-hour movie basically.
Yeah, that would be.
And you could really just take your time with Kenobi, and I would love to see that.
Yeah.
If they are an hour long each, it wouldn't surprise me at all if it ends up being 4.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
But if it's more like Mandalorian, where they're actually really short,
like 30 minutes or whatever they are,
then who knows what we'll get. But there was one other thing I was wanting to mention about that. Oh, they also talked about the plot a little bit.
Oh,
and this is the first time we've really heard anything about plot for Kenobi in a while. And what it says is that the plot is going to be about Darth Vader hunting down Kenobi.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I think that makes sense that Vader would be searching for Kenobi.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just I'm curious how that all plays out. Like with Kenobi, does he find out Darth Vader's after him, and so he leaves
to kind of
Tatooine?
Yeah, well,
but he would leave Luke behind with Darth Vader on. You know what I mean? So that's where
unless he like signals like, "Oh, hey, it's me, Kenobi," and they, as he's leaving, so he follows them out or something like that.
True.
Sends out like a.
There's still a lot of uncertainty there. But anyways,
of course,
I personally think this is the best thing we could get, is getting Obi-Wan and Darth Vader having that potential face-off is really cool. And some people are like, well, they didn't face off till episode 4. Well, Darth Vader talks about, I was
the student and the master and all this stuff like that.
And the thing is that doesn't necessarily mean the fight on Mustafar. That could still have meant an earlier fight.
Exactly.
And so
very possible.
I think the canon is open enough that they could have had more encounters. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. I think it's open enough that there could be some room for interpretation type thing.
And I think it could be pretty stinking amazing to have.
Well, I can't remember. I think we talked on this podcast before, but there's someone remade the episode 4 or 5. Oh man, and
it's pretty cool.
That got me hyped. Like if we could see something like that in a like the Kenobi series.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
I'd take it.
Anyways, this, of course, as we've said before, this Kenobi series is the most anticipated thing in Star Wars for me ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anything will ever surpass how excited I am for this series. And so you're going to hear it a lot from us. We're going to be talking about it a lot. Until it's released, and probably well after it's released.
Oh, I'm sure.
We will be discussing this. So if you don't like Kenobi, you might be listening to the wrong show.
Right. So just be prepared for that. The closer it gets, just the more frequent you're probably going to.
Right.
So anyway, we it's still got a ways off, so let's go ahead and move on this one to our last rumor for this week, and that is we're talking about the Bad Batch. I kind of mentioned this a little bit ago earlier as well, but we had been talking about previous episodes about the release date of the Bad Batch in this kind of short series that they're going to be doing on this as well, and we knew that it was coming out in 2021, and Drew and I were talking about this, like, oh, I'm pretty sure we already knew when it was supposed to come out and what section of the year, what quarter of the year. And I think we were just speculating. But we've got some more details that's pointing, and again, this is still rumors, but it's heavily pointing to the fact that the Bad Batch would come out in spring 2021. Yeah. On this article, it says that Jordan Mason has compiled evidence lending credence to the likelihood that Star Wars The Bad Batch will debut on Disney Plus in spring of 2021. And there's different things he talks about here, like following the debut of Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga gameplay trailer, Mason shared Lego's press release regarding the game's deluxe edition. That version of the game will include DLC character bundle packages from 6 Star Wars projects, including the Bad Batch, like we were talking about earlier. And then additionally, Mason teased that he'd seen the indicators that upcoming animated series will be debuting next fall. Anyway, so
the fact that the Bad Batch is being included in that, I think, does seem like a pretty good indicator that we'll be getting that series around the same time as the Clone Wars, or sorry, not the Clone Wars, the Lego Star Wars. But it could just be a DLC pack that they're releasing because of the Clone Wars too.
True,
and that's another way that could be taken. But and as we've talked before, we've kind of already assumed this will be a spring 2021 release.
Yeah, it just kind of makes sense in my mind for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so I'd say that this is probably on the right idea here. Of course, we won't know for sure until it's officially announced, but I think there's a good chance of it.
Yeah, I was going to say because, we got... I'm assuming, at least now, I think it's a pretty good assumption, but we got Mandalorian Season 3 coming in the fall of, 2021. So then that would leave the spring open. Now, we have a few things coming in the spring, don't get me wrong. We got High Republic. We got, supposedly we have the, Lego Star Wars. We both of us forgot what it's called. Anyway, but we got some stuff coming. Oh, whatever it's called. Yeah, I don't know. But so it would make sense. And if it's not a spring, maybe like a summer thing, a summer drop as well. But
right, it could end up going into summer.
Yeah, because there is a kind of high density of things coming out in the spring.
I don't think it'll be fall though. I think it'll already be out by then.
I think so too. And harkening back to the DLC thing, it is possible that they're dropping that Bad Batch DLC due to the Clone Wars, but if there are coming out the Bad Batch series, I feel like it wouldn't make sense to do that separately. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in itself, the DLC for Lego Star Wars is like a commercial or a marketing thing. It's like it's bringing attention to the Bad Batch, and I don't know. I don't think it would make very much sense for them to release it separately, and obviously Jordan Mason thinks so as well, and that's why he's kind of saying that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I think he's on the right track there.
Yeah, I agree.
So, anyways, that is all of our rumors for today. We're gonna go ahead into our releases, and there is no comics being released this week. But we are getting on Tuesday Thrawn Ascendancy Chaos Rising.
Yep.
This is the first novel in this new Thrawn trilogy that is a prequel to all the other Thrawn novels we have gotten so far. And so should be very interesting. Completely brand new Star Wars era. There's not really any characters we know other than Thrawn and maybe a few other minor ones from Legends. But basically a whole new slate here.
Right.
So, do you plan on getting this one, Braxton, or do you think you'll just?
I've thought about it. I think it's the thing. I need to get kind of caught up on it, right? I mean, with Thrawn,
yeah. Well, I mean, this might technically be a good place to start if you've never because
it is a prequel, right? Yeah.
It's a prequel, so it might be a good place to start.
I've thought about it because I've heard a lot of really good things about Thrawn, and of course, then on Rebels and stuff too. But reading those stories, I heard that the book's pretty good, according to you, anyways. So anyway, now I've been thinking about getting that. I think about picking it up. I do like the idea of getting those sweet blue edges.
Right.
On the book.
It looks cool.
It may or may not be able to get that because it's first edition type thing.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah, it looks cool, and also, experiencing some more of like the unknown regions.
Yeah, and that's a big reason.
And just learning some wider lore of Star Wars is always kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's going to grip me, the story will grip me or not, just because. I do love the Jedi. I do love everything we already know about Star Wars. And so this being like completely new with no recurrent characters and stuff, it might be harder for me to really get into it.
Yeah.
Or I may really enjoy it. I really am not sure how I'm going to take it, but I will be reading it. So
yeah,
I'll keep you guys updated.
Right. And that's kind of like what I was going to get at as well, as like for me as someone who's not as avid as a reader as you are of the Star Wars like lineup. It has to be something I'm really interested in. So for instance, like whenever High Republic comes out, I will be pre-ordering that and I will be reading it like as soon as I get it. Right. And I'll be able to definitely give some my opinions on that.
Which is kind of a pretty big deal.
That is a big deal because it opens up to a whole new era of Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of makes sense for you to read that. So, but that's kind of my point with this one. It does interest me, but not obviously to that level.
Yeah. Which I do want to say, I said a new era with Thrawn. I guess I should take that back. I don't necessarily know that it's a new era. It's definitely going to be in the much earlier than most of the novels we've read.
Right.
I don't know. It could technically line up maybe around the same as Dooku and stuff. I'm not sure. Again, like I've said before, I'm not sure on Thrawn's age.
Right. Well, yeah, and he's an alien, so like Yoda, he's a baby at 50 years old, so you really don't know.
So it's not necessarily a new era. I want to make that clear. But it is still pretty distant as far in the past as far as like Star Wars stuff that we have currently.
Yeah. So it will be interesting to see where that delves into for sure. So are you good on that?
Yep,
okay,
that's the only thing we got this coming week.
Yeah. So without any further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into Q&A. I'm not gonna go throughout my whole spiel because I say it every episode, and I'm sure you guys are getting tired of hearing it. But we do have 3 questions this week, as we always try to get, and we really appreciate that, each and every one of you.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to go ahead and just dive right into it. This week's first question comes from Alex Mason. Thanks for asking, brother. He's always faithful to listen to some good Star Wars memes to post on.
We appreciate you, Alex. Thank you for all your support. It means the world to us.
Yeah. So anyway, Alex asked a pretty cool question. He says, if you were able to pick one of these characters to have a TV show or movie, who would it be and why? So Darth Nihilus, Darth Revan, and Darth Plagueis. And would you prefer it to be a TV show or a movie? So I'll go ahead and go first because I think that your answer will be a little bit more passionate than mine.
Oh, okay.
So first of all, for me, I actually really like the stories of all 3 of these characters. Any of the extended universe, Old Republic or anything around that, any of those stories really intrigue me, especially the Sith ones. I don't know why, but all the Darths of the Old Republic in that time era is just so cool. They go so in depth, and there's crazy stuff. So if I could see a TV show or a movie of either of these or any of these three, I'd be pretty happy. I would have to say that I am intrigued probably the most by Darth Revan. In terms of his story, we see that in Old Republic and things of that nature, or not the Republic, but so we kind of already know to some degree what happens, depending on our choices, I guess. But I would definitely love to see that in like a TV or movie format. I think that'd be really cool because it's such and we've already talked about this before, but it's such an insane drop of realizing, losing his memory and all this craziness. Like to see that in a movie or something, that would be fantastic. Now, like Darth Nihilus, I would love to see something about that. For me, it's one of those things where it's a pretty dark. He eats people's like souls. So it would have to be something like non mainstream, if that's the right way to say it. So for me, it's one of those things. It'd have to be like probably a show or whatever. And then Darth Plagueis, super, super, super interesting character. And I would love to see like young Sidious, young Palpatine, with Plagueis and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool. But I'd definitely say for myself, I would probably like to see a TV show of Darth Revan, mainly just because TV shows have the ability to give you a lot more backstory, character development versus movies. So anyway, that's my spiel, Drew. I think I already know what your answer is on this, but go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to see a Darth Revan movie.
Yeah.
And so if we get a Darth Revan movie, because I want it to be the big bombastic thing like in Star Wars. I want them to have it. I want them to go all out.
Right.
And I think that also could also allow some series that include Revan on Disney Plus, some like TV style episodes or whatever, as well. But I do want it to be the focus of their movies at some point.
Right.
And so I want to see that. And in the process of that, we would get Darth Nihilus.
Right.
At least, and if we were to follow the story of Darth Revan, we would eventually get to Darth Nihilus and the Exile, and we would see, in my opinion, that would be the way to do it. So you get Darth Nihilus in that as well.
Yeah, you best of both the worlds there.
Yeah. So that would be what I would say for that, and for so that'd be my number one pick, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But
I will say I would really like to see Darth Plagueis as a TV series. And the reason for that is because I think it'd be a slower, more political
exactly
show. I think what we would see is not only would we see Plagueis and how he was pulling strings and creating, different things throughout the universe, but we would also see the rise of Palpatine as well.
Right. I'd love to see that.
And that's what would be the most interesting about that, is we could kind of get both stories through that. And eventually we'd see Palpatine, kill Plagueis and take control himself. And then we lead into the Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that has a lot of potential there. And I want to see that be like a slower, and it probably wouldn't have a ton of action scenes. It doesn't necessarily need it. No. It's a very dark, brooding political story there.
Yeah.
And I think it could be extremely engaging if done correctly. And in the process, we learn a lot about the Sith, I think, and the Sith studies and the way they train.
It would be a fantastic lore building show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And probably learn even about some previous Sith and things in the process.
Yeah.
So I think that would need to be a series, because I think that would need to go for a little bit to really tell that whole story. But again, I think Revan should be a movie, just because I want them to go all out. I just wanted.
Yeah, and I guess it makes more sense because we already kind of know the storyline, so we don't really need that lore building or that character building because we already know the character. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
I guess my biggest concern, and maybe they'll change this, but I as of right now, I don't think they will. The TV series we get are not going to look as crazy and insane visually as a movie. And if we get a Knights of the Old Republic movie or any kind of story, it's got to be top of the line. I mean, it's got to be crazy.
Yeah, getting these massive Sith versus Jedi battles and all stuff like that.
So if we get that in just a TV series, I'm not sure we'll get the true visual expectations that we're going to need. For example, like a show like Kenobi can be a TV series because it doesn't need a whole lot.
No.
It's not going to be...
I mean, he's going to be out in the desert somewhere.
Right. He's going to be on his own a lot doing... It doesn't need a huge... Like The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
But something like the story of Revan, I think needs to be on a big theater screen. Alex, you are talking my language there with that question because I do have lots of thoughts on the Sith Lords, and I'm ready for us to focus on one of them. You know, I understand that Star Wars is hope and Star Wars is about the light defeating the dark, and I'm all for that and think that's great. But I don't think that we can't tell stories of the villains as well, though, and see their perspectives and see their sides of things. In the end, they still get defeated.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We could do it because it's like far in the past, you know, and we know that eventually they get defeated, so we can tell how bad they are because we know they get defeated, so it still stays hopeful.
So I'd love to see either one of those. Not sure if we're going to get them, but I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I would say we probably... I don't know. I really don't want to say... I mean... I'd say it's possible that we can maybe get a Darth Revan before Darth Plagueis, but then at the same time, I could definitely see it being opposite as well. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, if we ever get something like that, I'd be happy with about whatever we got. So great question. Our second question comes from Josh and Birkinshaw. Thank you for asking, sir.
What's up, Joshin?
And he says, if you could choose, and this is a very hard question, so thank you for asking this. I was racking my brain on this one.
A question. Do you think they call Joshin Josh?
I don't know, Joshin.
Do you think they call him?
Tell us what they call you.
Yeah, because we want to call you like what?
Well, I know when we did our live stream, we called you Josh, and they said, "Hey, is that where you saying your name right?" And you said yes. But do they call you Joshin, or do they call you just Josh?
We want to be your buddies, okay?
Yeah,
so we want to call you. We want to call you what your friends call you. Right. So do they call you Josh?
Friends.
Do they call you Burke?
Yeah, we'll call you Burke.
Do they call you Shaw? I don't know.
They call you Un. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, let us know about that. Anyway, you got me kind of curious now. But that's a good question. He says, if you could choose one scene from any of these films to change, mix up, or get rid of to replace with the whole new one, which would it be? And what would you change to if you're deleting the whole scene? So, man, this is a hard question because we got like 9 movies to pick from here. I have an idea, but Andrew seemed to be pretty specific. He knew what he was going to do. So
I felt this way for a long time, and we actually kind of already touched on it. Is the scene between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi? That's the one for me because there's now that we've built this universe up to what it is now, that scene doesn't work for me anymore.
Right.
Because there would have been so much more conversation that would have been had there than what they did.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot more passion behind that scene, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also they just couldn't show. They couldn't do the full out battle
that it should have been.
That it should have been.
Yeah.
And again, none of that is necessarily a bash against it because back then it didn't need any of that. None of that was built up yet.
Yeah, I mean at that point it wasn't nearly as much brevity.
Right.
Yeah.
But now knowing what we do, having the battle on Mustafar, those things, I wish that we could see that in a whole new light and see that with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I would love to one day see that scene played by Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor.
That would be awesome.
And I'm not. Maybe one day they'll do it. Like maybe one day
they're all older.
Yeah, they're older. Maybe they'll add it in. Who knows? I mean, George Lucas was not afraid to do any of that stuff.
Right.
So, but I think that if we could see that just be a little more personal than what we got. Not only that, but I think if we could have gotten a better idea of why Obi-Wan did what he did, because it's very unclear when you just watch the movie. I mean, I know what I think and why and all. I could go into big long detail about his reasonings there and stuff, but I think it could be a little more clear in the scene. And I would love it. That's always, every time I watch it, that's the one scene out of everything in Star Wars that I'm like, man, if only we could, if only we could see that in the new light after after what we've learned since this movie came out. So
Yeah,
that's mine.
You know, there's, I mean, a lot of scenes that I could nitpick and say, I wish this would change. You know, actually, that what you just said was one of the ones I was thinking as well. That's probably the most specific thing I could think of. Now, I have two broad comments, and it would be in the original trilogy, it would probably be that scene. But the broad comments is in the prequels. I would love to see.
Are we gonna do like each?
I'm just gonna say
because I have one I could use for each. If you
well,
want
he
to
did
do
say
that.
one, but I'm saying I don't know that I have one. You know, what I'm
That's
saying?
okay. I'm gonna throw in a couple more too. But you go ahead and tell your prequel one. I'll tell you my prequel.
Well, okay, we'll go prequel and then we'll go sequel.
Okay,
as well.
yeah.
So
that
sequel,
good.
the whole thing. No, just kidding. I'm just joking. No, sequel.
You're not kidding.
Shut up. Anyway, sequel on the prequel trilogy. The biggest thing for me, and there's some goofy things throughout, obviously, but I would have to say for the biggest one for me is Anakin, and just how he interacts with Obi-Wan and how he interacts with pretty much everybody. Obviously, Hayden Christensen did exactly what he was told to do, but just seeing Anakin in Clone Wars and how like mature and decisive and just a great military leader he was and stuff like this, and then all of a sudden we see him in Episode 3. And just as this whiny, it just always never sat with me.
In 2,
huh?
In 2.
Well, 2 and 3, but yeah, I mean,
I find Hayden Christensen much better in 3 than
no,
in 2.
he is. Don't get me wrong, but he's still whiny. He's still whiny.
Well,
in
yeah,
3.
he's still.
And it's just like it's just such a stark difference from seeing him from Clone Wars to 2 and 3, and it's just
and you know what? That's what's going to be interesting about this Kenobi series if they go back and use Hayden Christensen again.
Mm-hmm.
How is that gonna work
exactly?
That'll be interesting.
And that's the thing though. Like, I don't think Hayden Christensen is just automatically defaults to the whiny. I think he was just told to be that way. I truly do believe that. That was just the directive that George gave him. I truly believe that. Now he might have like some predilections to be
George
kind of like
that.
that.
Can you add a little more wine into your voice?
Yeah. So. Yeah, that was the biggest thing probably from the prequels I would change, especially in Episode 2, his interactions with people and just how non-Jedi Knight he is. You know, I would definitely want to see some of that change.
So you want to see 2 and 3 completely remade with a new actor?
Sure. No, not with, I like Hayden Christensen. I just with a different directive choice.
Yeah.
You know,
I think what came to me first, as far as the prequels go, is the scene with Mace Windu and Palpatine.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
I think that I would have liked to seen that done differently. Because I just don't buy it. I don't buy that scene at all.
I don't buy that he would just be able to convince Anakin that all of a sudden Mace Windu is just this evil person that he has to betray.
Yeah, well, and I think it would have been cooler to see Palpatine and Mace Windu actually like have to fight it out. Like, really
I agree.
Fight it out.
Yeah.
And then see Mace Windu truly go down. Like if he had to die there, let's see him like die. Right?
Yeah.
Not just,
and then when Anakin strikes him down, it's like after Palpatine's like over him, like then feigns something.
He
know,
cuts his hand off or whatever. But
yeah,
that's not really enough.
Yeah.
So that would be mine for the prequel. I think that's what came to my mind first. At least I'm sure there could be a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me started on Jar Jar Binks, but
yeah. Again, another directive choice I was not too pleased with. But anyway,
let's go sequel trilogy. What would you?
Well, it's the same thing, kind of, sort of. It's not specific, but for me, it's basically every interaction with Luke. I did not like how they handled all of the. Basically, the interactions between him and Rey whenever she first meets him in Episode 8. I hated. I did not like how they had Luke behave and talk and act with her, and it was just for me personally, like, I'm not speaking for everybody, but for me personally, I just did not think that was Luke. I didn't feel like that was the Luke Skywalker we knew. Now, had he'd felt betrayed, like he had failed, and he's been in isolation for X amount of years. I get that that's going to change somebody, but Luke Skywalker is still Luke Skywalker. And just like the smart alecky dumb comments he would make and how he just like basically hated the Jedi, I would change how they took Luke in his direction for sure. I could go much more in depth on that, but for the sake of time, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, but if I'm gonna do a specific scene, it would be the scene where Luke dies. He goes into the Force. I would like to see him live there, and so which would then change the entire third movie.
Yeah.
But that would be my specific scene.
Like how it would work out after that, I don't know, but I don't care.
I don't really care. I just want to see Luke Skywalker live.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
So that would be that. But
yeah, we could go further for the sake of time. We're already sitting at an hour. We're not even through all of our Q&A yet. The past couple weeks, we just had a lot to say. I don't know.
We've been talking a lot, yeah.
I don't know.
Which is kind of funny considering the fact that, you could argue Star Wars is pretty dead right now.
Yeah. But there's consistently things happening, not big stuff, but there's stuff happening. So.
We are still talking quite a bit, so...
once we start getting like heavy stuff, like we get to the Mandalorian, big drop, like... Guys, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to have 3-hour episodes. Just kidding. No, we will not. We will not have that.
We'll have to probably limit our news and rumors or something.
Well, and I think that's what we're doing. I think we're just stretching the news and rumors quite a bit because we just don't have a ton to say otherwise. Yeah. I know you guys love it anyway. That's why you keep coming back.
You just want to hear our voices. I understand.
Hello there.
Hey, Bubba.
Okay, let's move. All right, anyway, let's move on. So Josh, good question. Last and thirdly, Kristen Perry. Kristen, thank you for asking as well. One of our old faithful
number one fan.
I honestly think so.
It's already was proven on our.
Oh yeah. I forgot
She's
about
our top fan.
She is our top fan. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Kristen. We appreciate that. So Kristen says, which movie, series, or video game has the best music? So actually, Drew and I were talking about this to some degree before the show today, and I would say that and I'm just going to talk about the saga for right now, because I will say the movies have the best soundtrack for me, out of all the movies and series and everything, or in games too. But the movies have the best soundtracks. But I was going to say, each trilogy has its own stars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
For instance, sequel trilogy. I've said it time and time again. I'll say it until the fat lady sings. I don't know, but the best things that came out of the sequel trilogy, first of all, for me, was Rey's theme. I love Rey's theme, and then also like I don't even know, but it was like the cinematic version of. The Star Wars theme.
The Star Wars theme, yeah.
That they use for trailers and stuff, and I just love that. Very cinematic, and you hear it in actually the Lego trailer. So we'll be listening for that. But yeah,
it's got that like.
And it's like very like elongated. It's like.
Yeah, it's hard to really put into words what makes it so special. But
it's just very like it definitely pulls at the heartstrings a little bit. It makes it feels nostalgic, but also gives you chills every time you hear it. Yeah. So there's that and Rey's theme from the sequel trilogy. Obviously from the OG trilogy you have wow. I can't think of what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure what you're talking
I don't know. It's on the tip of my tongue. But it's like one of the first things that we hear. I'm
really bad at like telling you the exact names
of the songs.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
basically, it's we hear it a lot in episode 4.
I can probably sing all of them to you.
I know, exactly. But that was the establishment of the main theme, first of all. We could just say that. That was just iconic.
Oh, sure. I mean, for me, in the original trilogy, it's all good. It's all golden.
Yeah, the Force theme is also fantastic.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna kill me not remembering the song name though.
Well, and then like if you go into the prequels, of course, one of our favorites.
Well, okay, so then that's what I'm gonna nail it down to though. Probably for me, the prequel trilogy has the best music. I'm gonna say that for me. Yeah. So it has some of my favorite tracks.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have the main theme, and you do have the Force theme in there too, to some variation, right? But you also have, I even have the save on my Spotify as one of my favorite songs. But it's, marching, Battle March of the Droids or something like that. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dun 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 dun. Dude, that gets me hyped. It gets me pumped.
You just start marching down the street.
Yeah. Oh man, it gets me going crazy. So that's probably it's just that mixed with the nostalgia of it all. I gotta say the prequel trilogy probably has the best music for me because it has all the best stuff of the original trilogy plus a couple good other good ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's good stuff. I love all of that.
And Duel of the Fates too.
Duel of the Fates, of course, is so iconic.
What I was gonna say in the original show, Across the Stars. That's an amazing one.
Well, and
in Binary Sunset.
It's still such a shame we did not get Duel of Fates in Rise of Skywalker.
They were supposed to do it. They were supposed. It was in the trailer. It was in the trailer. I mean, come on, people.
It would have been such a great callback, but whatever. Yeah. It's done. It's over. But I also want to mention I actually really enjoyed Solos as well.
Yeah.
And like that first trailer we got, the music behind that is so good. Like sometimes I just go back and listen to that because it's so good.
Yeah, I agree.
Really cool. And of course, and then I think I have to make mention of The Mandalorian as well, which has just that theme. It just gets stuck in my head so bad.
I know. I'm just hearing it in my mind right now that you just said it.
It's so good.
But I think for me, it's one of those things where also it's so different from what we know. I think that's why we like so much. But it's still somehow stays true to Star Wars, even though it's so different.
Still Star Wars, and so you just threw that at my dog.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing things at my dog?
The dog's just been laying there forever. I just want to check to see if it was live, so I threw the toy at it.
She just looked at you like, what are you doing?
So anyway.
Wow. I'm deeply offended.
Oh, please. It's a plush toy. Heck on it.
Gonna make her cry. Anyways. Braxton's becoming unhinged.
I'm abusing his dogs.
So
watch out, hellhounds.
I think we've said enough.
I think so too.
We
just got to move on. It's an hour and 6 minutes. We haven't got to any time. So anyway, Kristen, I hope you enjoyed that monologue there. But yeah, so a lot of great movies.
How many people do you think even make it this far?
3. And 2 of them is us. Anyway, so let's move on. So anyway,
if you made it this far, press type 1 in the comments.
Yeah, type 1 in the comments, like and share 3 times, and
type 1 in the comments if you got this far. If you got this far and made it to the very end, type 2.
There's a special surprise coming at the end. So hang on, don't leave yet. So let's move on. Yes. So anyway, thank everybody for the questions. We encourage everybody, to continue asking. I know it can be difficult to think of something every week, but we really, really appreciate it. It really means the world to us. So continue doing it. If nothing else, but just make us happy. So
it does make me very happy.
It does make us very happy. Anyway, so we appreciate it. We're gonna move on to our main topic, and today's main topic, we're not gonna take too long on it, especially because of the time. But we really wanted to just compile everything that's been going on recently in terms of the news. Basically what is not delayed. You know what I'm saying? That's what the main topic is. What is not delayed? There's so many things that are being delayed, and our news has been scattered throughout the weeks of, oh, this is delayed, oh, this is pushed back, and we wanted to compile a list of everything that we could think of that is delayed, and then what their new release dates are. So
it's just kind of like a catch up for everyone, kind of see where Star Wars is at right now.
Yeah.
Because there's just been a lot of uncertainty and a lot of changes, and so we kind of just gathered up some of the things that we could think of, and we're just going to talk about that a little bit.
So we may have missed a few things, so apologize if we do.
I'd say there's a good chance we missed something.
But we got most of it, if not all.
Most of the things, that have had some kind of delay is what
we've talked about.
That's what we're talking about here. So things that have not been delayed may not be something we bring up, but yeah. So
I'm just going to hit off the first one real quick, and that is the High Republic. And when I say that, I mean the entire publishing campaign. We were promised, books, child's novels and books and stuff like that, comics, coloring books, I think was even part of it. The whole publishing campaign of the High Republic has been pushed back, as we well know, and that was supposed to come out. The first book was supposed to come out actually August,
it was actually, whatever it was. I think it was supposed to come out this week at Celebration.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was supposed to be.
It was going to be something you could pick up at Celebration this week. My heart hurts.
My heart is broken. So it's like I said, we don't want to spend too much time. We can talk on it forever. But High Republic has been pushed back. But now the new date is January of 2021. We don't have a specific date, but I'm sure as it gets closer, we will be.
Actually, we do. It's January 5th.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
January 5th.
Cool. I'll write that down.
Just a wee little bit after Christmas.
Yeah. So
after the new year, starting a hopefully much better year than this past one.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm hoping anyway.
Hey,
our slogan.
I was gonna say
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead and say it.
The only good thing to come out of 2020 is the Jedi Eternal, a Star Wars podcast.
That's gonna be our new slogan. We thought about making it into a T-shirt. If anyone's interested, type 3 in the comments. Type 3 in the comments.
Say I'm here.
Just type "I love you" in the comments.
Type amen in the comments. Amen. Say amen. I'm sorry, like my like your aunt posts on Facebook. Never mind, I'm not gonna do all that. Anyway.
Yeah, no. I think most people probably gonna know.
You get what I'm talking about. Anyway, so
forward this to your friends if you
type yes in the comments if you agree. I agree. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm going to talk about we're gonna go quick. We're not at all.
We're still on the first one.
Okay, so January 5th, 2021 for the High Republic campaign or publishing campaign. So next one, Drew.
What?
The next one. Go on to the next one. Come on, go.
The next one is the Mandalorian publishing program. We were going to get the Mandalorian original novel. Don't know anything about it, what it's about, anything, but it was going to come, I believe, in November.
Yeah.
However, it has been delayed, and now it is coming in November 2nd of 2021. And this is an interesting one because there's really no explanation as to why we're moving it an entire year. And it's very interesting. It makes me wonder if they've changed like the entire story they want to tell.
Yeah, exactly.
So because I can't imagine that it was already... I don't know. If it was coming out in November, you would think that the novel was almost finished already.
Yeah, you think so. I mean, think so. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Unfortunately, we don't have any...
To be pushed back an entire year. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have any new, really, information on why that has been done. But maybe more will come out about that eventually. But I believe the rest of the publishing program, which includes like a junior novel and like a
coloring
young
books.
Reader's novel.
Yeah. Even like a little yellow book.
Yeah. I think those are still coming when they were originally intended to. And I know we're also getting like the Mandalorian Visual Dictionary in May, I believe, of 2021.
Yeah.
Which will be cool. And I'm assume that will compile both season 1 and season 2.
Most likely. Yeah.
So there's stuff to look forward to there, but it's just a mystery as to why they decided to push it back so far.
Yeah, I don't know. So like I said, it is very possible that the whole story is being changed, scrapped. I don't know.
I wonder about that.
Yeah, but we better yeah. So that was the second one. The third one is Rise of Skywalker comic has been delayed, and at this point, it's kind of like indefinitely. A lot of people were rumor mongering around that this was completely canceled, but forgive me, I don't remember the names here, but some of the artists and people who were working on it had posted on Twitter recently, and we talked this as news a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, that said like, still excited to show you all what we've been working on. So alluding to that it's still coming. Yeah,
and what's interesting about this one is it was supposed to come out, it was supposed to already be out, but the pandemic pushed all those comics back. And so again, what's the holdup here? It's again, it's just very odd that something that is, you would assume, completed at this point has been delayed to the point of not even telling us a new date.
Right.
And it's just very interesting why that is. Again, it makes me wonder if they're changing things, and if so, why and what. So again, more mysteries there.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff.
And then we also have, of course, the movies that we're going to eventually get has now been delayed to 2023. We were going to get the first one in 2022. Now, I think this one's a little more self-explanatory. I do believe this is specifically because of the pandemic, and the fact that they are swapping back and forth between Avatar and Star Wars.
Right.
And since Avatar got pushed back, therefore Star Wars had to be pushed back.
Boo.
I think I think that's the gist of it. Like I don't think there's a bunch of extra information there to dive into.
Really
the only thing I will say is that this does allow them, of course, more time to work on what they want that movie to be, and in the end may just be a good thing. But it's going to be a long wait.
It is going to be a very long wait. Yes, 2023.
We're talking basically 3 years from now.
Yeah.
Because it'll be, well, actually more than 3 years, because I'm sure it'll come out
like
holiday
December.
of
Yeah,
2023. So, like, you're going to have 2 kids. I'm going to have gained 50 pounds. Like, it's going to be interesting times.
Yeah. I mean, 3 years from now, who knows what's going to be going on until 3 years from now.
Yeah.
So, anyway, 3 years from now. That's all I can say. So next up is Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga. We've kind of been already hitting on this. It was supposed to come out, when was it even supposed to come out? I can't remember now.
What, the Skywalker Saga?
Lego, yeah. Skywalker.
I don't know that they
October or November?
They had just told us it was going to be fall of, or holiday of 2020. I don't know that they had an actual date
I remember seeing somewhere in November, but whatever. Right?
It was expected to be October or November. I mean, I think that was the general consensus.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there was an official date.
It has been pushed back, has been delayed, and at this point, as far as we know, spring 2021. So whatever that means, so March to May, somewhere through there. So that, not much more to, we've already kind of talked about that.
Right.
So Drew, if you want to,
yeah, and so the last thing we kind of want to talk about here is just the Disney Plus series. We know there's a lot of different series in the works, and we have to assume that there's a good chance that these have all been delayed to some extent, other than maybe The Mandalorian. We'll keep that one out of there. But now, of course, none of these actually had official dates, but you just have to assume. And for example, the MCU series that were scheduled to be released, like I believe we were getting Falcon and the Winter Soldier this month. It was going to be in August, and of course we're not getting that in this month now. And so just like those had to be delayed, I'm assuming we're going to see all of these Star Wars Disney Plus shows a little later than was originally expected.
Yeah.
And some of those may transition into New Year's.
Yeah.
For example, even like with Kenobi, I think they've talked about maybe it is actually been 2022 now, right? And they used to say 2021. And so we're already maybe seeing some of that. I still think we might get Cassian Andor 2021, but again, it's one of those things where the delay of production could potentially push that farther out than it was originally anticipated.
Right.
And then there's a lot of other shows rumored that we don't actually know about, but there's appears to be a lot of things in the works. A lot of this just seems like it could be pushed back a little, but. Yeah, I mean, and the one thing I do want to say outside of delays is we do have a couple of things coming for sure. That being the new Star Wars game that's releasing in October.
Yeah, Squadrons.
We're also getting in November. We are getting the Empire Strikes Back, certain point of view novel, which is going to have 40 stories. That are set for characters in Empire Strikes Back. That will be an excellent. I guarantee you that's going to be an excellent novel.
Yeah, I'll be definitely picking that up for sure.
The one for A New Hope was amazing. It brought so much to the movie. Like after reading that, going back and watching the movie was such a joy to do, and I have no doubt this one will be the same.
Yeah, and also don't forget, Mandalorian season 2 in October.
Right. Mandalorian season 2. Hopefully in October. We haven't seen the trailer, but
we have heard. multiple accounts.
They have told us
confirming that
they've told us multiple
coming,
times it's coming. So we are holding on to hope.
Trailer or not.
And can you think of anything else that we know for sure?
I can't think off the top of my head.
I think those are the only things that we have official dates for right now. Which I guess Mandalorian we don't have an official.
date, and then in November Rey's next big appearance.
The holiday special.
Yeah, don't forget about that. Don't forget about that. Yeah.
Yes, the holiday special. The continuation of Rey's story.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, anyway.
So there's still good things ahead. I'm still waiting for the moment when Kathleen Kennedy comes out and says, all right, here's the schedule for the next 3 years of Star Wars. I'm still waiting for that moment. we may never get it, but I hope that they learn from the MCU and realize the benefit of releasing a map of kind of what their plans are.
It gets people excited.
Yeah, and if it changes, it changes, but it gives us something to look forward to, something to discuss.
Precisely.
And gives us an idea of what their plans are. Because right now, it feels like they don't have any plans.
Right.
Right. And I'd like
they may not.
I'd like to have confirmation that they do.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anything else you want to add to that?
Nothing else that I can think of. I think we pretty much covered it. So
well, before we go, I do want to also mention that we are going to do a giveaway for the Thrawn novel. Now, the details on that will be coming out soon. Keep an eye on our Facebook. We might post there before anywhere else about the specifics, and we'll talk again about it on our next episode as well. But just be keeping an eye out for that. If you are interested in winning that book, you'll want to be a part of that. It might also even be possible to win a special T-shirt. So
you never know. You never know.
It might be something like that.
Type 7 in the chat if you want to win.
Type 7. Oh, but sorry again. We are so sorry that this one is so long. If you're still with us, we are thankful for you.
Yeah.
If you
remember to type 3 in the chat. So.
Yeah.
From earlier.
Type 3 in the chat if you're still with us. So, but we want to thank everyone so much for the continued support towards the podcast. Please like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for weekly news, polls, discussions, memes, and more.
Whatever we feel like doing.
Yeah. Please also follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and leave a review. We would love to see some 5 stars on there. We would appreciate that very much. But we thank you for listening, and join us next week for the big episode 30.
30.
Yeah, that's a special one. But until next time, may the Force be with you, and we thank you for joining the Jedi Eternal.